Welcome to a new episode of the DJwivesLV Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice. Don't miss any updates. Follow DJwivesLV on Instagram. And now, coming at you from Las Vegas, let's begin.
Welcome to the DJwivesLV Podcast. My name is Tanya.
I'm Bev. Welcome today. Our guest here is DJ Skilz.
Welcome, DJ Skilz.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good. How are
Thanks
you?
for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, we know that you are from New York originally, right?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Flushing, Queens.
That's amazing. Were you born there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. And is that where you started DJing?
Pretty much. I started DJing at the age of 13, back in 1989. I guess I just started DJing because I went over to a friend's house one time, and he had a little brother in the basement making all these sounds and noises, and I'm like, what's going on down there? So we went down there, and he's like 2 years younger than me, and he's scratching like Funkmaster Flex, and I'm like, I'm like, that's awesome. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like what drew me to it. Yeah.
And were you always into scratching, or were you also into beat juggling or mixing?
I was always into scratching.
Oh, really?
For some reason, I just love it. And, I consider myself a DJ that plays all types of music. I don't just stick to one genre. Mm-hmm. So I like to scratch to all speeds at all tempos. I just love it. So I try to implement scratching to everything I do.
So your DJ name now is DJ Skilz. Was it always DJ Skilz back then?
It was always DJ Skilz back then.
Really?
Yeah. It was since 1989. And I'm not even the one that gave myself that name. My best friend at the time, saw me do just a few little things and like, hey, you know what? Sounds like you should now call yourself DJ Skilz. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I wanted to be a little different and spell it differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's why there's only one L.
There's only one L.
Got it.
And one Z.
Because there's one of you.
Yeah.
The only one of you.
So who were some of your DJ influences? Then and now.
Back at that time in New York, it was Funkmaster Flex, for sure. Always on Hot 97. So I always listened to him. And
anyone else?
Oh, well, there's so many.
Right. Personally, did you have anybody that might have instilled some influence on you, aside of the music?
Well, music-wise, I listened to a lot of house music in New York because that was the thing, So I listened to freestyle music. I loved it. Yeah, but there were so many DJs at that time that influenced me into the direction that I went. Right. But I've always had this secretive passion for scratching. So when I go into that field and try to learn more about that, then I learned more about Qbert, D Styles, all those guys.
Oh, wow.
So I'm grew up listening to them and Mixmaster Mike.
So back then we didn't have cell phones.
I know.
No online.
No.
Anything.
No.
How did you listen to them? How did you hear about them?
I various mixtapes.
Yeah.
And I still have one from 1994.
Really?
Yeah. I still have
really
one.
Cool.
I actually posted on my Instagram. They're like, hey, look what I have.
Yeah, that would be cool to see.
So, yeah. But after 1996, I moved out here in Vegas. So
1996?
That's a long time.
Yeah. So I've been living in Vegas since 1996.
Wow.
And it was around that time where I was trying to find a DJ store out here because everything was desert at that time. There was really nothing here.
Not like today.
Yeah, the 15 was just a two-way lane. It wasn't.
That's it.
It wasn't five lanes the way it is now.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I went and found a store called Limelight DJ Supply, and I met the owner there, and his name is Steve. And long story short, I showed him I can scratch and all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh wow, man! You know what?" He's like, "Let me do something for you." And I'm like, "Well, what's that?" He goes, "American DJ at that time, was just about to begin their audio line for the first time ever. So he introduced me to the sales manager there, and he saw me scratch, and he's like, oh, can you please showcase our first mixer that we're going to bring out? I'm like, oh, okay, no, not a problem, but love to. So I did my first DJ convention ever with American DJ in January of 1997. It's the Mobile Beach Show, and it was at the Tropicana Hotel.
Wow.
So that's how that started, and they gave me a sponsorship.
And is that how you got your mixer named after?
Yeah. Then after working at all the conventions with them throughout 1997, they decided to push their other line of mixers out, and they named one mixer out of me.
That's cool.
In
Out of
your
my
honor?
name.
Wow.
Yeah, in my honor.
Oh.
In 1998.
Wow.
Which was the XDM 2221 Skills mixer, and it's big Skills right on the plate.
That's
It's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and I was like honored because that's like almost every DJ's dream to have a mixer named after them. But,
Absolutely.
but as time went on, I just continued doing all these DJ conventions with them, and that's all of a sudden I'm starting to see everyone that I always admired. Like I saw Qbert, I'm like, what? I'm like, am I like part of these guys now or something? I have no idea what's going on. Then I saw D-Styles, and I'm like Mixmaster Mike, and I'm like, oh my God. And they're always at the Vestex booth. So I'm always like sneaking away from my
From
booth
yours?
to theirs. I don't know, like, oh, geez. So,
Well, you're OG.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Those are great stories.
yeah, well, there's more.
So, I mean, did you do gigs or what did you?
I did. I had a very, very long residency here in Vegas at that time.
Where?
It was at Club Rio.
Ah,
Rio.
I remember that.
Club Rio was my spot, and I was there for
that the
over
rooftop one?
6 years. At least, what was it?
Was it the rooftop one or the
No,
one
the
that's-
Club Rio inside.
Okay, I
the,
know exactly.
where Chippendales dance.
Okay.
In that room.
Okay.
The
I
big
know that
dome.
one. Yes.
Yeah, inside there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, 6 years. That's,
Yeah.
That's a good run.
Yeah, it was a very long run, and after I think it was from 1997 to 2004,
Yeah.
if I can remember that far. From 1994, then I just continued further with American Audio and just kept doing DJ conventions around the world. So
And then did you do gigs outside of Vegas as well, or?
yeah, they actually booked me in nightclubs throughout the United States. As we traveled to a DJ convention, they would let me go DJ at a nightclub in that area. So
Right.
it was like from Miami to San Francisco to
And so at that time, what kind of music did you play?
just basically reading the crowd.
Yeah.
Reading the crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of music do you prefer to play if it was up to you entirely?
He likes to scratch.
Honestly,
curious.
I love breakbeat. I love like dance music, house music, and hip hop, and I just tried to play it all. Like I said, I try not to stick to one thing. I kind of want to like
Yes.
broaden my experience as far as what I
Back
can
from
do.
1996 to here and now, like just the whole range of music. How have you seen that, and what maybe still keeps you still interested in knowing that I still want to learn how to maybe just be more better at my scratching, or learn from like the people that you look up to, but still have your own take on it.
Yeah. I try to practice as much as I can to keep up with the times, but interesting story with that is that I did take a 14-year break.
14 year.
Yeah, I took a 14-year break from DJing. Like I did absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Like I stopped cold turkey.
Can we say what happened? with it?
Well, in 2007, I joined law enforcement as a correctional officer. And at that time, I decided to take a step back and focus on developing a family.
Right.
And however, after 14 years of doing that, I had this void that I feel like I lost. So
Yes.
I'm like, you know
The
what?
itch to scratch.
The itch to scratch is actually real.
Yeah.
All that scratch is making me itch is
Yeah.
real. Yes. And I had to go back into it. And it was in 2020 when COVID just hit, the world shut down. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to do something.
You got bored.
I think I got bored.
Yeah.
And I told the wife, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to start again. I think I'm just gonna like go back
Get
into it. Yeah.
And what did she say?
So it's like, oh yeah, she's like, go for it. So
She always been supportive
yeah,
of it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
yeah. She's always
DJ
been.
wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
the best when they support and allows you to do your thing to just shine as much as you
Yeah.
can because they have their back. You have their back.
Now, did you always
Absolutely.
have your equipment still?
That's a good question. This is what's
Dust it
funny.
off.
This is what's funny. When I started, I felt like I left off where I was in 2007.
Really?
Yeah.
So, what,
So-
did you have it all stored, packed away?
I had it all stored. Till this day, I still don't have any new equipment. And I think because of that, every time I do like a 1-minute segment of scratching online, I got people always telling me, oh man, I love your old school style. And I'm like, I have a bunch of people keep telling me, oh, I love your old school style. I'm like, and you know what? I don't even know if I'm trying to sound old school. I think
Yeah.
it's just,
That's just your.
It's in your
I think that's
like-
just where it's at. I think I don't know what to do. Like,
Right.
okay, what makes it sound new school? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. So
You're nostalgic without
yeah.
even trying.
yeah. So I came back saying to myself, well, I got to reinvent myself kind of like, because I tried to see if maybe I was talking to one of my buddies. He goes by Sparky B. And I told him, hey, Sparky, do you think I should change my DJ name? And he's like, you can't.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, why not? And he goes, you have DJ mixers named after you. I'm like, well, I guess you got a point.
That's very true.
Yeah, because we skipped the part where American No Audio made another mixer named after me in 2002.
you have two mixers.
Yeah, I have 2 mixers named after me. So in 2002, they came out with a QD5 DJ Skilz signature series.
Wow.
Now I feel important. When I saw
Yeah,
that.
you're
I'm like,
like,
okay, hold on a second.
If it's there, it's for a
Like,
reason. I
yeah.
gotta
Not
keep
just
producing.
one,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, not 1 but 2 now. I'm like, okay, this has got to be meaning something, you know. So
I mean, would you want to change your name if you had the choice?
you know what? I think I can't now. It's just
But do you
It's
like?
the-
So you embrace it now? You like
yeah. I like. I mean, it's like I've always thought about it. I'm like, man, it's a name I've had since I was 13. Did I make a right decision at 13?
Exactly.
You know. But now it's just like I feel like no. There's no way. I'm almost 47. I had it since 13. You can't do it.
Right.
You know.
stick it out.
Yeah.
So we know you're in law enforcement.
Yeah.
What do your coworkers know that you're a DJ?
Only a select few that I started sharing what I do outside of work this year for the first time.
Really? This
Yeah.
year?
I mean, you
Yeah.
have a lot of followers on Instagram. So I mean, are
Oh,
they
is
just not following you? Are they not on Instagram?
Now they are. Yeah.
That's kind of hard to hide. You're
Eh.
not, you're public. It's not private.
Yeah, it is. But I'm good at hiding things. So, yeah, I mean, even the inmates that I'm around of have no idea. You know, they
Right.
don't have no clue because I keep my personal life private from my work life.
Exactly.
So,
And so what do they think? What do they think of scratching? The ones that do know.
some of them were shocked, surprised, and I don't. If you saw me for the first time ever, I don't look the part really, kind of to them,
Right.
especially when I'm in uniform. They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So,
It's a really cool juxtaposition of you dressed in law enforcement gear, scratching. I
Yeah.
think there's an appeal to that.
yeah, I mean, it just shows that even though I've been a DJ a lot longer than I've been in law enforcement, but
Right.
I've always had a passion for DJing, so it's like something that I'm always going to carry with me, even if I become a Cox cable installer at home. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yes, you
You know?
still have that music.
Yeah,
So do they understand scratching at all? Do you think they do?
I think they do. I
Yeah.
think they understand the concept of it. I think they understand the technicality of it. Probably
Really?
not.
Oh,
What goes into it, explaining what an orbit is or what a crab scratching is, I don't think they get those terms, but when they see it, they're like, oh, wow, look at you.
that's
You know?
amazing.
So,
And then what about your wife? What does she think?
well, she supports me, what I do. Yeah. Even though she came from a different background than I have, but, helping her see what I do
Yes.
is giving her the knowledge
Yeah.
to understand. So it's been a fun ride so far. So
You said you did gigs before. What is probably your most memorable DJ gig from the past?
when I DJ'd for the Blade movie.
I read that.
With Wesley Snipes?
It was at, I forgot the convention that I was at. It was in Miami, but it was for the Blade party. And the premiere. It was something like that, but you have to excuse me. It was over 20 years ago.
I don't even know if I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think
so,
I know. I think it's Blade, Wesley's.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember the name of the convention in Miami at that time. But it's.
So it was a Miami gig?
Yeah, it was a Miami gig for sure.
Miami always
big convention.
Do good things to.
Yeah, it was a real outdoor event. It was really cool.
Do you see yourself now with having your full career, but still knowing that you do love the passion of scratching? And how do you balance that to know that you don't try to make it where your job or your career, how you say you keep your life separate? Like, how do you allow that to separate when social media, as much as you can keep it like hush and you know how to keep it, they're still going to find a way. And if it does that jeopardize anything?
No, it doesn't jeopardize anything. I mean, I just continue doing what I do, and if someone that I know comes across it and finds it, which hasn't happened yet, I just let them know, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Exactly. Follow me.
Follow me.
You might learn a little something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Follow me.
Has anyone ever come up to you, knowing you from your online presence versus knowing you as a cop? Not
yet, because right now I'm trying to take advantage of what I have now that I did not have then, and that was social media. Back in the mid-2000s, social media wasn't a thing yet. Facebook came out in 2004. I was all over MySpace.
Oh, I remember.
But MySpace is now kaput, and I don't even know what happened to my page on MySpace. That thing's gone.
I don't think anybody knows what happened to
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I lost it, so...
Do you post your videos somewhere aside of the Instagram? I know you have your Instagram. But
I have my Instagram. I post it on TikTok and YouTube. And Facebook, I feel like that's a lost cause. I post it on there, but nothing happens on Facebook. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Facebook tends to be a little bit more where, like, if you know of or there's more gossip to it then they'll read about it. But then there's something that you want to showcase and there's talent. They're like just scrolling through like TikTok, and obviously YouTube has a lot of support with that. I think that's when you'll give your name a little bit more of a show when you see more videos out there of you. So people are gonna know who you are. It's definitely gonna shine light.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Maybe it'll help me get verified on Instagram, because I'm like, I'm like, hey,
there you go.
Do you think I'm worthy? And I keep getting denied. I'm like, okay.
Believe
There's
me.
the goal.
Yeah,
right
that's the goal. That's like my 47-year-old goal right now. That's like, okay, let's go for it.
Regarding your law enforcement career, is there any like particular incident or story that you can tell us about? As far as what, like anything crazy, or because I'm sure you've seen a lot.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot has happened, and
especially here in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I did have a officer pass away in my arms because he was attacked, and he did die in my arms in 2012.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Sorry to hear that.
And and this is something that comes with the field. Anyone that knows what I do, they understand it comes with the field. So, and there's just like everything you could think that could happen. I saw it.
Wow.
It happened. So, but it's you just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
There's nothing
you
much.
fulfill your job, your duties, and you allow yourself to reset a little bit and go through the motions of it, obviously, because you do have to be out there the next day and commanding your presence again and protecting and serving your city. So
That's
get
heavy.
that.
Yeah.
I get that. And that's the toughest part, I think, when it's so significant, because, a lot has to do with building the community, and you're being their brother, your sister, and you're looking out for them. So that's the toughest part of that job, I think, and we all commend all officers and anybody in that field of law enforcement, firefighters, ambulance, EMTs. That's a lot of weight. So
yeah, well, it's a difficult field, but even though I'm in the correctional side, it's still difficult.
Absolutely.
You know, and I try to bring some light to it when I'm trying to expose, like, hey, you know what? Look at me. I'm human.
Exactly.
I'm a DJ. I scratch.
Do you feel with
like, you know,
some young people that obviously go into the system that you see like potential in them, or that you may be like as a mentor, if you try to, you know, music has a lot to do with a lot of people bringing healing or just a form of like a way of escaping. So have you ever had the opportunity to have that impact these kids that you see that there's true to them? It's just they're just not in the right path just because of who are they being influenced?
I see potential in some, and some I don't see potential at all. But those are the ones I try to reach out to. I'm like, look, just keep a level head.
Exactly.
Right? And just focus on family. Because what I see the most is a lot of people get locked up because you just have the wrong group of friends.
Correct.
You know, choose your friends wisely is what I got to say. That's mostly what I see. What's going on.
Correct. Very true.
Yeah.
You've been in Vegas, obviously, a long time, since 96.
Yeah.
What do you love most about Vegas?
Basically, how much it progresses and changes, and the new developments, and how it keeps getting broader, and it's getting more populated here as we speak, even right now. So it's just seeing how much it has grown has been absolutely fascinating, because things available now were not available at that time because the population wasn't big enough. So
it's interesting you say that, though, because a lot of native Las Vegans or people who have been here as long as you have tend to not like that. You know?
The reason for that is because I was born in New York, where everything was a building. Like the population was like 15 million already for me, and I come here where I'm like, I feel like I moved to a very small town. This is still a very small town to me than what I am used to. Okay, because if I drive 20 minutes in either direction, I'm hitting open land. You drive any 20 directions in New York, you're not hitting anything.
No. And in LA, you're driving 20 minutes to the freeway.
Exactly.
I thought I couldn't do New York living. I don't think so. I'd be overwhelmed just crossing the street. I went for vacation, and it just like, what is this? Like, nobody's paying attention. The cars, how do you get used to that? Like, and what made you come to Las Vegas 1996 and you're like so remote? Everything's not what you're about.
Well, I didn't move to Vegas in 96 'cause it was my choice at that time. I just moved with my parents.
Got it.
You know? So I was like, okay, well, I'm done here. Let's go there. So I just followed at that time.
And so you still love it here?
Yeah, well, yeah, I love it here. It's
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Building a career, family.
Yeah. Trying to, put a stamp on what I do here.
So you've been back in DJing almost going on 3 years. Good decision?
Yeah. After the 14-year break, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that I'm doing this again because I feel like I filled that void again. So it's really feels really good for me to be able to come back and do what I do again, but with a different take. Just doing online videos is what's making me happy right now. I'm not interested in doing gigs anymore or having a residency. I got a full-time gig I got to focus on.
Exactly.
So doing what I do right now is appropriate to me. It fulfills what I want to get done.
It's just enough.
Yeah, it's just enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is that where everyone can find you mostly, on Instagram?
Absolutely.
TikTok?
Now, it doesn't say that if I'm not offered something, I won't try to make something happen.
Let's make
but
that clear.
But I am happy where I'm at. Let's just say it like that.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us today and sharing your story. It's a very unique story. We don't meet a lot of law enforcement DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you having me here, and it was a real honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome.
Well, that's another episode of our DJwivesLV podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you at the next one.